Now, my last question. See, I want you to look at our continent, look at our country. What is your vision for Africa, for Nigeria in the next 20 to 30 years' time?
That one is a tough question. It's more than jam question.
Really?
In fact, it's a PhD question.
Wow.
In the sense that, let me tell you why I say it's a PhD question, right? You see, I can have dreams for my continent.
Yes.
Because Africa has so much potentials in terms of human and natural resources.
Yeah.
Which are being raped, by neo-colonialism.
Okay.
I don't mind saying that very, very boldly.
Okay. Okay.
And I pray that especially Francophone Africa gets out of that shackles.
Okay.
As they can.
Yes.
And I'm saying it.
Yeah. When it comes to Francophone Africa, yes, we all see it clearly. Yeah.
Very good. Now, when we start annexing our resources and start making our human capital get retained in the continent, because we have the best doctors in the world, we have the best architects, you'll be surprised. There is a particular family in the UK that I think every one of them got a first class and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We are a brilliant continent.
Yeah.
Nigerians and Africans in general. How come we can't excel in our own motherland?
Okay.
That is what you keep on asking yourself.
Okay.
How come we can't excel? Because the best brains keep on running abroad. So when you tell me to have dreams, you can't have dreams with extraneous factors like also corruption in governments. You can't have dreams. You only have illusion. I'm sorry. I'm not a skeptic or a pessimist. I try not to be. But before I can have dreams for a new Africa, we have to, one, the youth, starting from the youth, look at the low-hanging fruits that they can address first. That is number one. Number two, they need to participate more actively in our political ecosystem.
Okay.
Because when you are 60% of a continent and your voice is not being heard, or you are not impacting the politics in that continent, it's the same youth that collect the bribes and put bad governments in place. You understand? So how can I have dreams? How can I have dreams? It's just like the poem Africa, My Africa by David Diop. Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors in ancient savannah. After singing all the praises, our back is bent because we bend to one, political stagnation, corruption, neo-colonialism, exit of our human capital. How can a country develop without our human capital, the best of our brains? See you, for instance. Are you not part of the exit? You are in the UK. You are one of the best brains. You work for one of the best banks in Nigeria.
Okay.
I see you. You are right there in the UK. Why can't a Nigeria be able to retain you? Would you not have contributed more if you were in Africa? But you have decided to contribute more from the UK.
That's true.
You are fighting your battle from the UK to influence Africa. But you know how many thousands have also left So you see that this is the reality of our time, and you tell me to have dreams. I can't have dreams. I can only have nightmares.
Well, see, I will tell you, I agree with most of what you say, okay? And I wish I'm in Africa right now. I will tell you the truth. I wish I had the opportunity to be back home from 12 years ago. And that was my plan. Okay. Unfortunately, you know what happened. Okay. But as soon as possible, maybe this year, I will be coming to Africa more often. And that's my dream. Now, even though all those things you mentioned are very, very true, what I would tell you is this: we should not allow those things to stop us from having dreams. Because if we don't have dreams, no execution. Okay? Because you cannot execute something you have not imagined. I know, well, I can't say I know, but I hear. Okay, that's the truth, because I haven't lived back home, so I don't really know. All I can say is what I used to know. I hear how hard it is. Okay, but we cannot stop having dreams, and that's one of the things that I have this platform to continue encouraging people like you who are working very hard to say, hey, these things are true, but we still need to continue fighting. And that's the beauty of human beings. See, if you look back at our ancestors, okay, when I say our ancestors, I'm not just talking about Africans. Our human ancestors, we are where we are today. The advancement of civilization from the last 2,000 years to now, it's unimaginable. If anybody from back then, from 200 years ago, see us today, hey, where we are today was not imaginable to them. So, progress. We are making progress. Yes, us in Africa, progress has not been as rapid as we wish it to be. But it is our responsibility to make it happen.
Can I quickly say something?
Okay.
Let me quickly say something. You see, it saddens me that I cannot mention the exact names, but it was in the news recently, right? There was an inventor, you'll be surprised from which country. There was an inventor, a Ugandan.
Okay.
I can't remember his name right now, who invented a vehicle, a prototype, very beautiful prototype,
okay,
right? And a drone as well, that were powered on radioactive energy.
Okay.
Not even solar.
Okay.
Radioactive energy. People came from the United States.
You mean radio? It can be radioactive.
Radio wave. Radio wave. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not radioactive. Yeah. That was a slip of tongue. Radio wave. Right? Now, powered by radio wave.
Okay.
Now, people came from the United States to validate that discovery. Okay. To actually see that, it wasn't just, a fluke or a false, or a fallacy. They validated it and they said, wow. Do you know that the guy told those white guys that the Ugandan government was about truncating its efforts before they came to do that validation.
Well,
so how can you want progress when your own government is even against you? And it's not peculiar to Uganda. It's across the globe.
This is the point. See, I don't know much about that particular invention, okay? But see, yes, this is why we need to build our entrepreneurial ecosystem, because all these things are not the work of government. They are not the work of government. See, in truth,
it's private. It should be supposed to be private sector driven.
See, people understand these things. They are politicians and civil servants. They are not marketers. They are not entrepreneurs. Okay, they don't understand these things. People in government, most people in government have never sold a t-shirt. They don't know how to sell. The fund they have, they use in government, they didn't earn it. They didn't earn it, so they don't know how these things work. So we should not expect them to come and see. Of course, they can. If somebody does something extraordinary, they come there and take pictures as the governor, president, senator, but they don't understand anything else. So let's look at building our entrepreneurial ecosystem. See, this is part of the work we need to do. Say, hey, and I will tell you, we're doing a lot of different interesting things in Africa. A lot of interesting things, yeah.
Definitely. Anyway, well, as you said, you are very, very correct saying that we shouldn't let the hope die. We should keep the hope alive.
Yeah.
I envisage an Africa that we would concentrate more on our strengths in terms of we are still the only continent with robust natural environment in terms of our animal life, our forests, and all that stuff, apart from the Amazon, great potentials for tourism. That's one key area that we need to, look at, but we need to also address the insecurity, which would discourage people. I also pray that to have an Africa that will be able to retain more of our human capital so that development is also faster and attracts back home those that are already doing things abroad and all that stuff. I also look at an Africa in which we will start making, funny enough, we have actually started making our own vehicles, our own, using more of our own technology. Instead of depending on the foreign and Western or Asian technology. There is no reason why Innocent, for instance, should not be the official car that we have in Nigeria or some other brand that is being produced here in the country. Do you understand? It just takes the willpower of government to, get some of these things done. So you cannot remove it totally away from government and leave it in the hands of the private sector as well. So Africa actually has one of the best brains and all that stuff in the whole world.
We do.
And I pray that we'll get there in the next 10, 20 years, like you said.
We'll get there.
To bring back
we'll get there.
Capital. Yeah.
It looks difficult, but we will get there as long as we are dedicated to make it work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yomi, man, it's been an exciting start of the year, and I'm happy to have had you on the Think Big for Africa podcast. My guy.
Thank you very much.
My brother. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you very, very much, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.